Hello everyone. Very good evening to all of you. This is Ashwin Ramani here from SBI Securities. I hope I'm audible and I hope you all are able to see my screen. If you can give me a heads up in the chat box. Uh, Apologies for the slight delay, guys. There was some technical issue that we were sorting it out. I hope आपको मेरी स्क्रीन दिखाई दे रही है और आवाज़ सुनाई दे रहा है. If yes, you can just let me know in the comment box, guys. So we'll just wait for a couple of more minutes and we should be good to go for the session. Do let me know, guys, if I'm audible and if you're able to see my screen. हम 2 मिनट रुकते हैं. मैं यहाँ पे सिद्धार्थ जी है यहाँ पे. Siddharth ji, am I audible? If you can let me know in the comment box. Anyone else, if you all are able to hear me? So I'm just waiting for a couple of minutes. I can only see Siddharth ji was present here. For the ones who have just joined in now, अगर आपने अभी ज्वाइन किया है, अगर मेरी आवाज़ सुनाई दे रही है तो आप मुझे एक बार चैट बॉक्स में बता सकते हो. So I see that people are joining in. Again, apologies for the slight delay. थोड़ा एक टेक्निकल इश्यू हो गया था that we were sorting it out. I think now all that's sorted. I think we'll make it up for the lost time here. In the meantime, if I'm audible, guys, I'm just waiting for you guys to comment in the chat box so that I know you all are with me in the session. अगर आप है यहाँ पे आप मुझे एक बार बता सकते हो. Once I get a confirmation at your end, I think we should be good to go for the session. I'll just wait for a minute or so. 1 मिनट रुकते हैं and फिर आज का session हम शुरू करते हैं. Okay, now I can see that people are joining in. For the ones who have just joined in, guys, you can just let me know in the chat box that you all are there in the session. And अगर screen दिखाई दे रही है, you would see my presentation. स्क्रीन दिखाई दे रही है और मेरी आवाज़ सुनाई दे रही है. यू कैन जस्ट एक बार मुझे आप बता देना चैट बॉक्स पर. सो आई एम जस्ट वेटिंग फॉर 1 more minute. Akin, great. I think now I can see Achyuta ji is here. Good evening. Siddharth Malik ji is also saying yes. Okay, great. We just wait for a minute. It's at 4:19 now. So 1 minute रुकते हैं and then I think we should be good to go. Soumitra ji is also saying yes. Okay, great. I'm audible. Super. So how was your trading day, guys? Nifty expiry day. Did you make a profit today? Did you make a loss today? Or you chose to stay away from the markets? कैसा रहा आज का trading day? If you can let me know in the chat box. And how's the markets treating you currently? Siddharth ji is saying yes. Did you make money today while trading or did you lose money today while trading? Yeah, profitable, great. Siddharth ji is saying profitable, great. What about others, guys? Let's keep the session interactive because I'll be asking a lot of questions. You can also answer it and I can see your messages here. Great. Siddharth ji is saying profitable. What about others? Others can also give me a comment in the chat box. Great. Can we profitable trade? Okay, Prashanta ji is also saying profitable. Superb. Great. So can we, let's start off with the session, guys. So the strategy for today is how to deal with the market volatility. So there's a big event that is lined up on Saturday, guys. Can you all tell me what is that event that is going to happen on Saturday? If again you can let me know in the chat box. So there's a big event that is going to happen in our markets on Saturday, which is on the 1st February 2025. So I'm pretty sure you all know we have union budget that is lined up. So around that or union budget के आसपास broker. Okay, so exactly as Prashanta ji is saying, budget है. So what should be your ideal market strategy during budget? हम लोग देखेंगे कि इंडिया विक्स का जो ट्रेंड्स है, which is your volatility index. We will look at the pre and the post budget trends in India VIX. Then secondly we will also decide, and जैसे आपको मालूम ही होगा बजट के टाइम पे markets tend to be very volatile. So we'll have to figure out कि वो volatility पहले पहचाने कि एक्चुअल में अभी volatility बढ़ा है या volatility नीचे के एंड पे है. So we have ways to figure out कि वो volatility कैसे जाना जाता है कि whether the volatility is low currently or the volatility is high. And at the same time if we figure out कि volatile market है या नहीं है, उसके बेसिस पे there is one strategy जो हम लोग आज डिस्कस करेंगे, जो आप बजट डे के दिन डिप्लॉय कर सकते हैं. ठीक है. So these are the three main things that we are going to cover in today's session. So let us start off with the India VIX trends here. So आपको मेरे स्क्रीन पे एक इमेज दिखेगा which is of India VIX. So मैंने क्या किया है यहाँ पे, जितने the budgets that have taken place from 2014 से लेके पिछले साल का बजट. सो अब यहाँ पे मैंने इंटरिम बजट भी लिया है, फाइनल बजट भी लिया है. सो देयर आर टू टाइप्स ऑफ बजट्स दैट आई हैव कवर्ड. एंड मैंने उस दिन का, आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हो, उस दिन का ट्रेडिंग रेंज भी अवेलेबल है. मतलब व्हाट इज अ रेंज? रेंज इज बेसिकली उस दिन का हाई और लो का जो डिफरेंस है, दैट इज योर ट्रेडिंग रेंज. एंड देन देयर आर फ्यू कॉलम्स दैट यू कैन सी ऑन द राइट हैंड साइड ऑफ माय स्क्रीन. एक है आपका बजट के एक हफ्ते पहले व्हाट इज द ट्रेंड इन इंडिया विक्स, बजट के दिन इंडिया विक्स कैसे मूव होता है, एंड पोस्ट वन वीक आफ्टर द बजट how does the India VIX move here, because this can give us a lot of cues as to what should be your strategy post budget if you are trading in Nifty. Now ideally अगर आपने देखा होगा, आई एम प्रेटी श्योर आप लोग का भी काफी एक्सपीरियंस हुआ होगा बजट डेज में. अगर आपने मार्केट्स देखा होगा, the one thing that will come to your mind is the market is very volatile on the day of budget, maybe 3-4 days prior to the budget, and probably post budget also you will see some kind of activity. But based on your understanding, आपको क्या लगता है, बजट के पहले मार्केट्स वॉलेटाइल होता है या बजट्स के बाद मार्केट वॉलेटाइल होता है? इफ यू ऑल कैन लेट मी नो इन द चैट बॉक्स, बिकॉज दिस इज गोइंग टू एक्ट एज अ बेस, बिकॉज नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू स्टडी कि पिछले जो 14 बजट्स थे उसमें क्या ट्रेंड्स दिखाई दिया है हमें इंडिया विक्स में. उसके बेसिस पे वी कैन फिगर आउट व्हाट कैन बी एन आइडियल स्ट्रेटजी ऑन द बजट डे ईयर. So there is one strategy, an option strategy, which we are going to discuss in detail going forward. But according to you, what do you think, guys? Siddharth ji and all the ones who are present here, do you all agree for a fact that budget ke pehle you could see that, look at this 1 week prior returns before the budget date. So यहाँ पे पिछले 14 साल का डेटा है. Achyuta ji saying after budget. Let us study this data. Data in detail, guys. यहाँ पे अगर आप देख रहे हो 1 week prior return, मतलब 1 week budget day के एक हफ्ता पहले, usually what are the trends that we see in India VIX? Can you all see majority of the times you can see that, you can look at in the year 2014 we had interim budget as well as the final budget. So you can see VIX has risen 2% here, 4%, 10%, 11% in 2020, 9%. Again in 2022 we had 2%, 23 15%, 24 15%, 8%. But there have been some times where the volatility has contracted 1 week prior to the budget as well. So here you can see 9% है, 3% है, 9% here. But then if you compare, अगर आप एक proper trend अगर आप compare करोगे out of 14 times, can you all see the majority of the times India VIX has risen 1 week prior to the budget? Do you all agree? Exactly. Banuji is saying budget के बाद VIX गिरता है. But I'll go one step further here, Banuji. अगर आप देख रहे हो, look at how India VIX has performed on the day of budget. जब भी हम देखते हैं कि फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर जब अपना बजट अनाउंस करते हैं, उसी टाइम पे जो बजट डे, माना कि उस दिन आपको काफी स्विंग्स देखने को मिलता है निफ्टी में, बट कैन यू ऑल सी दैट वॉलेटिलिटी स्टार्ट्स कूलिंग ऑफ फ्रॉम द बजट डे इटसेल्फ. यहाँ पे आप देखो कि पिछले 14 बजट्स का डेटा है. you can see almost on all the budget days, whether आपका interim हो या final हो, can you all see that the volatility has cooled off on the budget day itself? और उसका बजट के जैसे एक हफ्ते बाद भी देखोगे, कैन यू सी वहां पे भी आपको एक वॉलिटिलिटी कूल ऑफ होने की नजर आई है यहाँ पे. So you can see, हाँ एक केस था, you can, if you look at the year 2018 guys, yes, that G is saying IV falls. But the most interesting thing to note here is IV starts falling on the budget day itself. आपने शायद देखा होगा बार, I think you would have probably come across a lot of videos. You would have seen कि बजट के दिन मार्केट्स वॉलेटाइल होता है एंड उस दिन पे शायद हमें लॉन्ग स्ट्रैडल या लॉन्ग स्ट्रैंगल स्ट्रैटेजी यूज करना चाहिए to take advantage of that volatile movement. But do you think long straddle or long straggle is a right strategy on the budget day? क्या हम long strangle और long straddle को budget day के दिन apply करना, does it make sense considering that you know कि IV starts falling from the budget day itself and एक week बाद भी अगर आप देखोगे volatility थोड़ा नीचे आता है. See, because the funda is very simple. If the volatility is rising, your premiums are going to rise and your premiums are going to be expensive. बट अगर आपको मालूम है कि वॉलेटिलिटी कूल ऑफ होने वाला है तो द प्रीमियम्स आर नॉट गोइंग टू राइज, यू माइट एक्सपीरियंस सम काइंड ऑफ डीके इन द प्रीमियम्स एज वेल. So exactly, Siddharth ji is saying it doesn't make sense to deploy a long strangle or a long straddle on the budget day, right? Agreed? If you can give me a heads up, guys. Yeah, we can discuss. So there is one strategy I'll tell you which you can take advantage on the budget day here. But अगर आप देखोगे from the budget day itself, the IV falls, and the 1 week forward also, if you look at how the India VIX has performed, उस दिन भी आपका IV गिरता है यहाँ पे. Great, Banuji is saying yes. Now, how many of you all know this concept of implied volatility percentile, guys? If you can let me know in the chat box. डेरिवेटिव में जब भी आप ट्रेड करते हो या डेरिवेटिव डेटा को जब आप स्टडी करते हो, देयर इज वन पर्टिकुलर डेटा पॉइंट दैट यू ऑलवेज वांट टू कीप इन माइंड, जो है आपका IVP, विच इज योर इम्प्लाइड वॉलेटिलिटी परसेंटाइल. हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू ऑल हैव हर्ड अबाउट दिस गाइस? सी, हमने देखा है कि अगर आप कोई एग्जांपल कोई स्टॉक ले लो, स्टॉक शायद अगर आप वैल्यूएशन के बेसिस पे देखोगे तो आप बोल सकते हो कि ये एक हाई वैल्यूड स्टॉक है और एक लो वैल्यूड स्टॉक है, राइट? सिमिलरली अगर आप ट्रेडिंग के बेसिस पे देखोगे, आपको पता चलेगा कि एक हायर एंड पे है, अभी रेजिस्टेंस पे है या एक सपोर्ट पे है. बट व्हेन इट कम्स टू वॉलेटिलिटी गाइस, जब भी हम वॉलेटिलिटी देखेंगे, जब भी फॉर एग्जांपल निफ्टी का जो IV होता है विच इज योर इम्प्लाइड वॉलेटिलिटी, सो यहाँ पे आप देखोगे निफ्टी का जो करंट IV है दैट इज 17.55 एंड द करंट IV परसेंटाइल, मतलब आज के जो क्लोज हुआ है उसका डेटा है, द करंट IVP इज अराउंड 90%. Now, what is that indicating, guys? ये जो current IV है, so here you can see VIX has also closed around 17.4. So you can see the current IV for Nifty is 17.55 and the IVP is 90%. Now, can you all tell me what does this 90% mean? इसका मतलब ये है 90% of the times in the last 1 year, the IV of Nifty has been below 17.55. Only 10% of the times in the last 1 year, the IV of Nifty has been above 17.55. So 18-19 IV हमने सिर्फ 10% of the times in the last 1 year. अभी last 1 year में around I am taking around 240 trading days. उसमें सिर्फ 10% of the time, but that is only 24 trading days में you would have seen Nifty का IV above 17.55. But majority of the time, that is 90% of the times, the IV has been below 17.55. Now, when you compare this IVP, what is your current interpretation of the volatility for Nifty, guys? Is Nifty already very volatile at this point, or Nifty is likely to be volatile? Yes, Siddhartha ji, you can do the same for Bank Nifty. But आप Bank Nifty भी देखोगे 95% of the times the IV for Bank Nifty has been below 22.34. It's only 6% of the times that the IV has been about 22, which clearly indicates, because see, this is one interesting data point, which is your IVP, which is very helpful when you deploy an option strategy, because the funda is very simple. Because if you expect कि markets volatile बने, when the markets are volatile, the premiums are going to rise and the premiums are going to be expensive. But you can deploy any long strategy provided the volatility is at the lowest point. But when the volatility is already at the highest point, guys, what do you think can happen? Can I say there can be some chances that the volatility can cool off? जिसको हम लोग आपने एक टर्म सुना होगा IV crush, implied volatility crush. Now if you are expecting that the volatility is going to cool off, do you think the premiums are going to rise, or do you think the premiums are going to decay even if Nifty is volatile on the budget? Because we just saw the data in the previous slide. We have seen that IV crush starts happening in Nifty on the budget day itself, and even 1 week post the budget you can see that the volatility has cooled off. Exactly, Siddharth ji is saying decay, premiums will decay. Absolutely, guys. Now imagine the volatility is already at the highest point. It is very काफी एविडेंट है, बिकॉज एक वीक पहले अगर आप देखोगे तो वॉलेटिलिटी बढ़ता ही है, एंड देन बजट डे के दिन से ही द वॉलेटिलिटी स्टार्ट्स कूलिंग ऑफ. But again, you will see a lot of traders who deploy a long strangle or a long straddle on the budget day. आपने शायद आपके साथ ये एक्सपीरियंस हुआ होगा. यू वुड हैव लेट्स से अगर आप नॉर्मल डेज पे भी देखोगे, आपने कोई इंट्राडे ट्रेड लिया हुआ है, लेट्स से यू हैव टेकन अ कॉल ऑप्शन, यू हैव बॉट अ कॉल ऑप्शन और यू हैव बॉट अ पुट ऑप्शन. You see that the underlying is going up, but you don't see your premiums moving. आप बोलोगे अरे अंडरलाइंग तो इतना ऊपर चला गया बट मेरा प्रीमियम्स मूव नहीं हो रहा है. Have you experienced something like this happening in your day-to-day trading? I'm pretty sure you would have experienced this. जब भी आपने कोई कॉल ऑप्शन या पुट ऑप्शन बाई किया है, बट आपका अंडरलाइंग भी आपके डायरेक्शन एग्जैक्टली. यस सर, टुडे ओनली इट हैज हैपेंड. या टुडे इट डिड हैपन. इफ यू हैव बीन ऑब्जर्विंग द मार्केट्स करंटली, आज ही हुआ था. Because why exactly? Siddhartha ji is saying many times, because there is one important data point that we are not looking at, because the volatility is already at the highest point, and chances are that the volatility is going to cool off. So at this point of time, it is better that you avoid option buying. This is only for a couple of days until the budget volatility settles down. Once the volatility comes back to its median, then you can start looking at buying opportunities again. So when the volatility is already high, do you think selling options makes more sense than buying options? Because selling options you take advantage of time decay. Correct? Do you all agree with this, guys? If you can, let me know in the chat box. So this IV and IVP concept, I guess Banuji had got it right. I think Siddharth ji is probably getting this IVP concept for the first time. So now that we know that the volatility is already at the highest point, and now हमने देखा कि पिछले 14 बजट्स का डेटा भी देखा है कि बजट डे के दिन से ही वो IV क्रश होना स्टार्ट हो जाता है. So on that day, if you take a long strangle or a long straddle, it is not going to make you money. You have to go with some other strategy, which we are going to discuss that. ठीक है, I hope the IVP part is clear. Let us go. I think this is what we covered. Exactly, selling options around high IV or hedge with futures. But there is one other strategy that you can look at when the volatility is already on a higher end. If you are, अगर मैं slightly riskier strategy का बात करूँ, it is probably going to be a short strangle or a short straddle. Short straddle में क्या होता है, आप at the money call और put को sell करते हैं. अगर मैं short strangle की बात करूँ, आप एक out of the money call बेचते हैं और एक out of the money put बेचते हैं. But that is risky because you want the price to stay in a range, but suddenly कुछ volatile movement आ जाता है, the loss can be unlimited, and also उसमें capital requirement is also on the higher side. But the one other strategy that you can look at is you can also look at iron condor. How many of you all have heard about iron condor, guys? If you all can, let me know in the chat box. Iron condor is basically an extension of short strangle. अगर short strangle में आपका loss unlimited हो, अगर आप शॉर्ट स्ट्रैंगल कोई कॉन्डोर से हेज करते हो, बिकॉज सी शॉर्ट स्ट्रैंगल में क्या होता है, आउट ऑफ द मनी कॉल बेचते हैं, आउट ऑफ द मनी पुट बेचते हैं. इसको अगर हेज करना है तो आप एक आउट ऑफ द मनी कॉल बाय कर लो और एक आउट ऑफ द मनी पुट बाय कर लो. नाउ व्हाट विल हैपन इफ यू डिप्लॉय अ आयरन कॉन्डोर इज, if it stays in that range you make money. Even if it goes outside the range, आपका लॉस होगा, but that loss will also be limited. Strangle में your loss is unlimited, short straddle में also your loss is unlimited, but when you do a condor, even if it breaks the range for some XYZ reason, the chances are that loss तो होगा, definitely होगा, because you want the markets to stay in that range. But even if it breaks that range, your loss is going to be limited. Is that part clear, guys? Sheila ji is saying, okay, great. Sheila ji has heard about iron condor. Siddhartha ji has also said, super. I think you all know about iron condor here. So this is what I'm saying. So now if you start reading the IVP on a daily basis, guys, if the volatility is at the lowest point, what is the strategy that you are going to use? Then can I say you can probably go with a long strangle or a long straddle, because now you are expecting that the volatility is already at the lowest point and chances are that the volatility can increase from here. But when the volatility is already at the highest point and you know for a fact that there is IV crush that is going to happen, you can probably look at a short strangle, short straddle, or even a better strategy, which is your iron condor. Is that part clear? Do let me know, guys, in the chat box if y'all are with me until now. So we've looked at the India VIX trends. Budget day में हमने देखा है कि IV crush start हो जाता है budget day के दिन ही, और उसका एक हफ्ते बाद भी. And I'll tell you one more interesting thing which I missed out. Now, if you look at this particular year, guys, where the 1 week post budget India VIX had given almost 26%, it rose almost 26%. But you see what has happened 1 week prior to that. 1 week prior to the budget, this happened in the year 2018, the volatility had cooled off 9%. And then you see post budget, the volatility rose. So it is very important for you to see where is the IV at this point of time. It is trading at the highest end of its historical volatility, or it is trading at the lowest end of its historical volatility here. अगर हम लोग current analysis करें, we know for a fact that the IV is trading at the highest end, and you would have seen the premiums also, guys. The premiums have become costlier. That is one of the signs कि शायद आपका volatility एक higher end पे. You look at Nifty 90% IV, Bank Nifty 95%, Fin Nifty 95%, Mid Cap Nifty 97%. It's already very volatile, guys, and chances are that budget day के दिन से ही आपको एक IV crush देखने को मिल सकता है. So to take advantage of that, the strategy that we are going to discuss is going to be an iron condor strategy. Is everyone with me, guys? If you all can, let me know in the chat box. Do let me know, guys, in the chat box before we start with. So आपने iron condor, see, I can go to probably Opstra and just select the strike prices and tell you कि इसका क्या range हो सकता है, what is the maximum profit and the maximum loss. But what I will also do is I will try to make you understand conceptually कि ये iron condor का max profit max loss बनता कैसे है. I mean, we will look at individual strike price calculation, and then we will see what is the maximum profit, what is the maximum loss, what is the break even point, what are the levels that you need to track, when do you have to deploy the strategy, and what are the things that you need to keep in mind. So ये सारा चीज अभी हम लोग देखते हैं. ठीक है. Where did Nifty close today, guys? Can you all help me with the Nifty closing price today? I hope you all can see my Excel. Is my Excel visible, guys? If you can just give me a heads up in the chat box. Do let me know if my Excel is visible. 23,240 exactly. So Banuji is saying, Siddharth ji is also saying it's 23,250. And exact. Prashanta ji is saying 23,457. No, Prashanta ji, it closed at, I'm talking about the spot price. Spot price closed at 23,250. Superb. So the strategy that we are going to discuss is going to be an iron condor, and the budget is on the 1st of Feb. So जो next weekly expiry है, can you all tell me what is the date of the upcoming weekly expiry? Because आज तो निफ्टी का एक्सपायरी डे था, तो आज का एक्सपायरी तो खत्म हो गया है. So what is the next expiry, that the weekly expiry that I'm talking about, which we are going to see in our calculation as well. Great. Banuji is saying 6th Feb 2025. Super. Now let us see the strategy details. Now, when I talk about iron condor has 4 legs in it. So उसमें दो जो legs है वो आपको sell करने हैं, and then there are 2 legs जो आपको buy करने हैं. Now 23,250 is the Nifty current market price, right? So the first leg that we are going to sell, so there are 2, जैसे see I told you, जैसे iron condor है वो एक short triangle का extension है, right? So the first two legs is you are going to sell an out of the money call and you are going to sell an out of the money put here. Now, based on 23,250, what I have done is, now based on 23,250, I am selling an out of the money call. But what is the strike that I'm taking here is I'm going 250 points away. So I am selling 23,500 कॉल. मैं 250 पॉइंट ऊपर जाके सेल कर रहा हूं और मैं नीचे जाके सेल कर रहा हूं 23,000 पुट. So I am going 250 points below as well. Ignore the leg 3 and the leg 4. If I just go with leg 1 and leg 2 where I'm selling 23,500 कॉल जिसका प्रीमियम अभी 211 है, and I'm selling 23,000 put where the premium is 205. So when you are selling an option, आपको प्रीमियम मिलता है. जब भी आप बाय करते हो आपको प्रीमियम देना पड़ता है. So that is why you आप देखोगे यहाँ पे रिसीव लिखा है. Now when I'm selling 23,500 call and 23,000 put, if I'm just taking two legs, guys, if you just consider leg 1 and leg 2, can you all tell me what strategy is this? Forget about leg 3 and leg 4. आप सिर्फ अगर leg 1 और leg 2 पे ही जाओगे, can I say when I look at leg 1 and leg 2 where I'm selling out of the money call and out of the money put, 23,500 call sell, 23,000 put sell, this makes one strategy, guys. What is the strategy if we just consider only two legs? If you can let me know in the chat box. But in terms of option strat, exactly, Nikhil ji and Banuji saying it is a short strangle strategy. And can I say for a short strangle strategy, the risk is on a higher side because you want the price to stay in a range. If it breaks that range, loss is unlimited. And what about the capital requirement for short strangle? Is the capital requirement for short strangle on a higher side or is it on a lower side? Because यहाँ पे दोनों legs sell है, so it is on a higher side. Now, how do you hedge a short strangle? Short strangle का loss आपका unlimited है. I'm just adding, see, we are expecting the volatility to cool off because of which the premiums are going to decay and the chances are the markets are going to be neutral. But अपने को थोड़ा सेफ भी रहना पड़ेगा. बाई चांस अगर कुछ ऊपर नीचे होता है on the 1st of Feb or maybe a couple of days later or on the next trading day, we need to ensure that we protect ourselves from these first two legs. So what we are doing is we are hedging the short strangle with a couple of more legs. So हम लोग एक out of the money call, जैसे हमने 23,500 call बेचा है, we are going even 200 points away. We are going far OTM. We are taking a far OTM here. 23,700 call is what we are going to buy. And Nietzsche 22,800 put is what we are going to buy here. So now we have four legs. Short strangle has got converted into an iron condor here. So first two legs are your sell legs. Now you have hedged those sell legs because now you are thinking, okay, if it stays in the range, I'm probably making money. But what if market suddenly turns volatile and it goes, because you don't know in which way the market is going to swing. It can probably swing on the higher side or it can swing on the lower side here. To protect yourself, you are buying an out of the money call and you are buying an out of the money put here. So now for the first two legs, you receive premiums. For the next two leg, you pay premiums. So what is your, is 134 is your net receivable or is it your net payable, guys? So are you receiving premium when you are deploying this iron condor or are you paying premiums when you are deploying this iron condor here? ये 134 negative है या ये 134 positive है? So 211 plus 215 minus 142 minus 150. So this is not net payable, this is net receivable. So this is, I'll write net receivable. Okay? And what is the lot size for Nifty? So the lot size for Nifty is, as you all know, now that we have the change in the lot sizes here, the lot size is 75. We'll come to the capital part later. We'll also talk about the break-even part later. Now what we will do is this part clear? Is the strategy details part clear? About the iron condors में कितने legs होते हैं and at the end you are receiving here. आपका जो net 134 है, that is receivable. Okay, all good until now. Now what we are going to do is we are going to do a scenario analysis. बाय द वे आपको आयन कॉन्डोर कल नहीं डालना, आई टेल यू व्हेन टू डिप्लॉय, आपको आयन कॉन्डोर कब देखना, बिकॉज उस दिन बजट डे के दिन में आपको ये आयन कॉन्डोर इज आइडियल, बट यू हैव टू सी व्हाट इज द प्राइस ऑन दैट डे एंड अकॉर्डिंगली मेक रेंज बेस्ड ऑन दैट, कि आपका जो आउट ऑफ द मनी कॉल जो सेल होगा और बाई होगा दैट विल बी बेस्ड ऑन द प्राइस दैट यू सी ऑन द बजट डे मॉर्निंग, बिकॉज दिस सैटरडे वी हैव अ लाइव ट्रेडिंग सेशन एज वेल. This is reasonable now because the lot size is 75, else 25 was too small. But on the contrary, what has happened also, Nikhil ji, कि आपका जो loss है वो 25 में थोड़ा कम था, but 75 में थोड़ा it will be on a higher end. But on the flip side, the profit is also on a higher end here, and the capital has also slightly gone up. अगर आप ऐसे comparison करोगे तो, but nevertheless, fundamentally nothing has changed with respect to the strategy. Okay, so Nifty is at 23,250, assuming that we are going to deploy iron condor tomorrow. कल नहीं कर रहा है, जैसे मैंने बताया आपको बजट डे के दिन you have to look at the opening price and then do a condor strategy. Now tell me something guys, if Nifty is at 23,250, what are the possible scenarios that can happen in Nifty? See, there are probably three things that can happen to निफ्टी ऑन द बजट डे और 1 वीक पोस्ट द बजट डे. आप जरूरी नहीं है कि आपको पूरा एक हफ्ता रखना भी है आयन कॉन्डोर. आई आल्सो टेल यू व्हेन यू कैन एग्जिट दिस स्ट्रेटजी एज वेल. But there are three possible scenarios that can happen whenever you deploy any strategy for that matter. The first thing is, right now Nifty is at 23,250. Can I say Nifty can stay in the same range? ना तो वो ऊपर जाएगा ना तो वो नीचे जाएगा, वही के वही रह जाएगा. Is that a possibility guys? We don't know, but we have to consider different possibilities, right? Nifty can stay at the same range, or Nifty can also go higher. It can go to 23,500, or maybe it can go to 23,800, or it can even go to 24,000. I've just taken random prices here. And the third possibility is either it can go down, it can come to 23,000, it can come to 22,800, or it can also come down to 22,500. So can I say we have to be prepared for all three possibilities? Ideally, we want Nifty to stay in the range. मतलब वो चाहे ऊपर नीचे हो जाए, but आखिर में वो नीचे ही close हो. या तो Nifty stays there, or Nifty moves up from the current level, or Nifty goes down from the current level. Can I say these are the three probabilities that are possible? These are the three possible scenarios. If you all can let me know, guys, in the chat box. Because now now we will see, अगर निफ्टी वही के वही क्लोज होता है तो हमारा पीएनएल क्या होगा, ऊपर जाता है तो हमारा पीएनएल क्या होगा, और अगर नीचे जाता है तो हमारा पीएनएल क्या होगा. Now obviously you can do all this with the help of one click. Now you have a lot of softwares that are free softwares that are available out there. with a आप बस strategy details डालोगे आपको पूरा वो लिस्ट मिल जाएगा. बट मेरा ये था कि मैं आपको एक कंसेप्चुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग दूं कि ये इंडिविजुअल पीएनएल्स कैलकुलेट कैसे होते हैं, देन हाउ डू वी अराइव एट द नेट पीएनएल, हाउ आर द ब्रेक इवन्स कैलकुलेटेड एक्सेट्रा. ठीक है. नाउ व्हाट वी विल डू इज, सो देयर आर 4 legs. We will calculate the PNL of each and every leg, then we will calculate the net PNL here. ठीक है. And then we will look at the break even. So the first leg was 23,500 call where the premium was 211. So what I've done is, don't look at the second box here, just focus only on the first box. जो हम लोग का पहला leg है, that is 23,500 call where the premium is 211. Now tell me something guys, you have sold 23,500 call. When will this 23,500 call make you money? 23,500 कॉल अगर आपने बेचा है, ये आपको प्रॉफिट कब देगा? जब मार्केट 23,500 या 23,500 के नीचे क्लोज होगा तब, या 23,500 के ऊपर क्लोज होगा तक. रिमेंबर यू हैव सोल्ड अ कॉल हियर, आपने कॉल राइटिंग किया है, 23,500 कॉल आपने बेचा है. So ideally for this 23,500 call sell to give you profit, you, as long as market is below 23,500, absolutely Banuji. So here you can see, जब तक 23,500 के नीचे है, can I say you will pocket almost 211 rupees, the whole of the premium here? Yes, Siddhartha ji. But what if it goes above 23,500 guys? Now can I say this leg will start losing money for you? Ashish ji, it is below 23,500 as Banuji has said, because आपने call बेचा है. आप कॉल जब भी बेचते हो यू एक्सपेक्ट मार्केट वही के वही रह जाए या वो जो करंट मार्केट प्राइस है उसके नीचे क्लोज हो जाए. But now it has gone to, guys, it has gone about 23,800 and 24,000. Can I say now you will have an unlimited loss for this particular leg, which is 23,500 call? If it goes to 23,800, can I say 23,800 minus 23,500? Your 300 is your intrinsic value. That is your loss. Technically, that is your loss, but you have pocketed 211 as premium as well, right? So can I say your net loss will be 89? At the same time, let's say it has gone to 24,000. So 24,000 minus 23,500, 500 ka loss. But is 500 your total loss? No, because 211 आपने कॉल बेचने के टाइम प्रीमियम रिसीव भी हुआ है. So your net loss will be 289. And you multiply that by the lot size. Can I say here you will get the absolute value? Is the leg one part clear, guys? If you all can let me know in the chat box. We will go step by step. जैसे leg 1 किया, then we will do leg 2, leg 3, leg 4, and then we will look at the combined P&L. Is the leg 1 clear? Siddhartha ji is saying yes. What about others, guys? Banu ji, Ashish ji. आशीष जी आपको डाउट क्लियर हुआ जब भी वो 23,500 के नीचे होना चाहिए बिकॉज आपने कॉल सेल किया है. सुपर. सो लेग 1 इज डन. नाउ लेट अस कम टू लेग 2, गाइस. Leg 2 में what was our leg 2? The leg 2 was 23,000 put. 23,000 put आपने sell किया है. Now when you sell a 23,000 put, the premium is 215. I think अभी आशीष जी बताएंगे ये. आशीष जी आपने 23,500 put को बेचा है, put writing किया है. तो 23,000 पुट अगर आपने बेचा है, यू वुड वांट कि मार्केट 23,000 में रहे, उसके ऊपर क्लोज हो या 23,000 के नीचे क्लोज हो. कब आप 23,000 पुट सेल करोगे तो कब ये आपको प्रॉफिट देगा? When it stays above 23,000 or when it stays below 23,000. You have sold puts here. Let's see if Ashish ji gets it right. Rohan Raj ji ने already answer बता दिया है. Everyone can take a guess, guys. And even if it's a wrong answer, it's completely fine. So you can just take a guess here. Very good. Ashish ji is saying upside. तो अगर आप देखोगे 23,500 तक, जब तक 23,500 है और उसके ऊपर है, can you all see you are pocketing 215 rupees? 23,000, sorry, 23,000 is the put. So as long as it is about 23,000, you are pocketing 215 rupees. Very good. Sheila ji is also saying here. Banu ji is also saying super. But if it comes down, if it comes below 23,000, guys, now what do you think will happen? Now ये जो आपने जो put sell किया है वो लॉस में आना शुरू हो जाएगा. आपको कॉल सेल वाला प्रॉफिट मिलेगा, बट ये पुट सेल वाला, बिकॉज पुट सेल इज आपका डायरेक्शन इज बुलिश, साइडवेज टू बुलिश. बट अगर ये नीचे आ गया, कैन आई से 23,000 minus 22,800, so 200 will be your loss, but still you have pocketed 215 rupees as premium. Siddhartha ji is saying pain, absolutely, because this and that pain is unbearable, especially when you are selling, because the loss is unlimited here. So यहाँ पे 200 का loss, but you have pocketed 215, but still you are making money even if it goes to 22,800, because आपने जो premium receive किया है वो ज़्यादा है as compared to the intrinsic value here. Similarly, if it goes to 22,500, now in case of 22,500, can I say 500 is your loss? The premium received is 215, but can I say your net loss is 285? And then you multiply by the lot size, you get the P&L for the second leg here. Is the second leg calculation part clear, guys? If you all can let me know in the chat box. So we have looked at the P&L for the first leg and the second leg here. Rohan ji, Sheila ji, Banu ji, Ashish ji, Siddharth ji, is this clear, the first two legs? Then we will go, I think the third and the fourth leg will be very easier. I think first two legs में अगर आपको calculation समझ में आ गया, then okay, super. Banu ji is saying yes. Now let's go to the third leg, guys. Third leg is where you have bought an out of the money call, which is 23,700 call आपने buy किया है, and the premium is 142. Now we have bought, guys, so now you have to think from a buyer's perspective. 23,700 कॉल अगर आपने बाई किया है तो आप क्या चाहोगे कि प्राइस 23,700 के ऊपर जाए, आपको प्रॉफिट दे, या 23,700 के नीचे जाए, when will 23,700 call buy option give you profit? When it goes above 23,700 or it goes below 23,700? Very good. Banu ji is saying, I think Banu ji का सबसे पहले आंसर आ जाता है. Superb. So if it goes about 20, see, if it stays below 23,700, then can I say पूरा प्रीमियम गया? Because in option buying, the loss is limited to the premium that you have paid. तो जो पूरा जो 142 rupees गया है, that will ultimately go to zero if it closes below 23,700. So you can see जब तक वो 23,700 के नीचे पूरा 142 का loss exactly गया. But अगर 23,800 गया, what is your intrinsic value? So 23,800 minus 23,700, can I say your intrinsic value is 100? But क्या 100 आपका final profit है? आपने प्रीमियम आपके जेब से आपका 142 का प्रीमियम भी गया है, राइट? भले ही आपको 100 रुपीज का गेन है, बट प्रीमियम यू आर पेड इज 142. कैन आई से स्टिल टेक्निकली यू आर लूजिंग 42 योर, बिकॉज 23,800 100 पॉइंट ऊपर जाने पर भी आपका प्रीमियम रिकवर होना चाहिए, राइट? दैट इज योर ब्रेक इवन. एंड सिमिलरली इफ इट गोज टू 24,000, so 24,000 minus 23,700, so 300 is your intrinsic value, बट आपके जेब से प्रीमियम गया है 142 का, तो आपका बचता है 158. यू मल्टीप्लाई दैट बाय 75 एंड यू गेट द एब्सोल्यूट वैल्यू योर फॉर द लेग 3. ग्रेट. आई थिंक आशीष जी का यस आ गया. सुपर. इज द लेग 3 पार्ट क्लियर? नाउ लेट्स कम टू द लेग 4, द फाइनल लेग ऑफ आवर स्ट्रेटजी. द लेग 4 वाज we are buying a 22,800 put. Superb. Now let's look at 22,800 put. Guys, now you have bought a put option. 22,800 का पुट ऑप्शन आपने खरीदा है. जब आप पुट ऑप्शन खरीदते हो, आप क्या चाहते हो कि मार्केट 22,800 के नीचे जाए तब आपको प्रॉफिट होगा, या 22,800 के ऊपर जाए तब आपको प्रॉफिट होगा? When will the put option give you money? You bought puts, and the previous leg you bought calls. I think you all gave me the correct answer here. Now you're buying puts. Now when you buying a put, what is your view? Exactly, you are expecting that कि market नीचे जाए, 22,800 प्लस जो भी इसका प्रीमियम है वो रिकवर करे. बट अगर 22,800 के ऊपर क्लोज हो गया तो लेट्स से 22,800 के ऊपर चला गया. फॉर एग्जांपल दिस इज 22,800. इफ इट क्लोजेस अबाउट 22,800, gone. The whole premium of 150 rupees loss. So you can see your 150 ka loss hai. But since it is going down, let's say it has gone to 22,500. So 22,800 minus 22,500, 300 is your intrinsic value. That is your gain, but that is not your total gain. आपको ये खरीदने के लिए 150 रुपए आपके जेब से भी गया है. So 150 is your net here, and you multiply that by 75 and you get the absolute value here. Now, can I say we have the PNL for all the 4 legs? For leg 1, this was the PNL. Leg 2, this is the PNL. Leg 3, this is the PNL. Because आपको जो profit दिखेगा ना, वो combined PNL होगा. It's not like individual legs का PNL आपको देखना है. Now मैंने क्या किया यहाँ पे, बस summarize, मतलब जो भी उसका जो net PNL है, that is what I have calculated here. What is it that you observe here, guys? Do let me know. I will just zoom out for you. I'll just zoom out a little, just a second. Guys, what do you think here? What is happening in iron condor? Tell me one interesting observation here in iron condor. इसमें पैसा कब बनता है और आपका लॉस अनलिमिटेड हो या लिमिटेड हो, कैसा होता है यहाँ पे? So that loss is exactly, Banuji is saying loss is limited to 4,950. भले ही वो लोअर ब्रेक इवन के नीचे चले जाए या वो हायर ब्रेक इवन के ऊपर चले जाए, can I say in both the cases your loss is limited to 4,950? But if it stays in that range, can I say that is when you are making money here in iron condor? Because now the wallet, see, जब डीके होगा ना, obviously the sell premiums, if you see, it's on the higher side, because that is what will probably make you money in iron condor. But think, if you deploy a long strangle or a long straddle here, and अगर डीके हो गया, the chances are that you will lose money here. So you, पहले हमने डेटा देखा, we know for a fact that एक हाईवी क्रश होता ही है बजट के बाद. बजट के दिन से हमने देखा, we have looked at past 14 budgets. Every day on the budget day, we have seen an IV crush. We have looked at implied volatility percentile as well. We know for a fact that volatility it's at the highest end of its historical volatility, and we are just taking advantage of that IV crush that is probably going to happen on the budget day, or a few days after budget. I'm considering 1 week here. Now, can I say my loss is limited, whether it breaks the lower break even or the upper break even? But if it stays in that range, can I say that is where I will make money in Iron Condor? So now tell me, guys, do you have to worry about those wild swings that can probably happen on budget day? Because अगर आप देखोगे trading range देखोगे in the last 14 budgets, so I have also calculated the trading range here, guys. If you see the maximum range that we have seen on trading days, you can see almost 674 points का trading range था. That was in 1st Feb 2021. मतलब जो high and low का जो distance था on the budget day, that was around 674 points. And the same thing happened on 1st Feb 2023 as well, around 618 points. ना होगा क्या पता है, शायद आप बजट डे के दिन ये आयन कॉन्डोर स्ट्रैटेजी अगर आप डिप्लॉय भी कर दोगे, हो सकता है फॉर सम पॉइंट इट माइट ब्रेक दैट रेंज एंड यू विल सी अ रेड कलर ऑन योर पीएनएल स्क्रीन, बिकॉज जिस टाइम वो रेंज के बाहर जाएगा तो ऑब्वियसली आपको दिखेगा ये लॉस थोड़ा बड़ा हो गया है, बट अल्टीमेटली यू हैव टू जस्ट स्टे पेशेंट एंड एंश्योर दैट वो आपका जो आईवी है वो कूल ऑफ हो रहा है. I don't know whether this time it is going to be different or it is going to follow what has happened in the last 14 budgets. Based on what we have seen in the past 14 budgets, आप देखोगे बजट डे के दिन आपका आईवी क्रश देखा गया है. And even if you look at 1 week forward, almost 1, 2, 3, 4, just 4 out of 14 times, the volatility has risen. But you can see majority of the times you can see at least वो 3-4 दिन के लिए आपका जो वॉलेटिलिटी है वो कूल ऑफ होता ही है. दैट इज व्हाट द पास्ट डेटा सेज. लेट्स से अगर ये भी ए टाइप भी सेम ही होता है, बिकॉज सी द implied volatility percentile is at 90%. It can go to 95, 97, 100. It cannot go beyond 100. At some point of time, the volatility has to go down. But अगर आप करंट इंडिया विक्स देखोगे, अगर मैं 30th Jan से 7 दिन पहले का देखूं, on 23rd Jan, India VIX was at 16.69. Right now, it is at 17.39. Already the VIX is up 4%. आज हमें VIX का अगर आप चार्ट देखोगे, almost the VIX is down in the range of 6 to 7%. So we saw some volatility contraction today as well. But अगर आज का डेटा निकाल के अगर आप पिछले 5 दिन देखोगे, you would have seen that the volatility has risen. So we'll have tomorrow's day as well. तो कल हमें देखना पड़ेगा. But ultimately, if I'm going to Iron Condor here, just one last thing before I tell you कि हमें कब ये deploy करना चाहिए. Now there are 2 break evens in Iron Condor, guys. एक आपका एक upper break even होता है, एक आपका lower break even होता है. Now how do you calculate the upper break even? जो आपने जो call sell किया है, in our case what was the call sell strike? Can I say it was 23,500? The call sell strike plus your net premium received, that is your 134. अगर आप 23,500 में 134 को जोड़ दोगे तो आपका जो अपर ब्रेक इवन है वो आ रहा है 23,634. और आपका जो लोअर ब्रेक इवन है, हाउ इज दैट कैलकुलेटेड? जो आपका ओटीएम पुट सेल है, अभी आपने जो पुट्स जो सेल किया है ओटीएम का, दैट इज 23,000. और 23,000 में से जो नेट प्रीमियम रिसीव्ड है उसको आप निकाल दो, विच इज -134. तो आपको लोअर ब्रेक इवन जो आ रहा है वो 22,866 है. अब इसका मतलब क्या है? टिल द टाइम निफ्टी स्टेज विद इन द 22,866 टू 23,634. नाउ व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन दिस? ये कितना पॉइंट्स का डिफरेंस है? लेट मी डू दिस माइनस दिस. So you can see दोनों break even के बीच में जो difference है, that is almost 768 points here. So till the time Nifty it is closing inside the range, you will make money. But if it goes above 23,634 and it closes below, or it goes below 22,866 and it closes below, आपका loss होगा, but that loss will be limited to 4,950. मे बी ड्यूरिंग द डे, बजट के डे में शायद ये लेवल्स टूट सकता है, बट हो सकता है कि वो शायद वो फिर से ये रेंज के अंदर आ जाए. एंड यू डोंट हैव टू वेट फॉर दिस फुल 10,050. जब let's say you, and when do you deploy this iron condor? Ideally you should be deploying this on the morning of the budget day. So Saturday ko morning mein somewhere around 9:30 to 10 o'clock is when, because the budget speech will start at 11 o'clock. It might go until 12:31 depending on the length of the speech, but ideally between 9:30 to 10, because हमने देखा है कि बजट डे में कूल ऑफ होता ही है. So ideally on the budget day, exactly, budget day is when you should be deploying an iron condor, and you don't have to wait for this full 10,000 profit for you to occur. Just hold on for like one budget day, and probably, and Sunday is a holiday, so हो सकता है शायद वो DK थोड़ा factor in हो सकता है Sunday को. Monday, probably by Monday second half, or even until Tuesday, if you see 10,000 में से, even if you are making 40-50% of it, maybe somewhere around 3,000 to 4,000, you can exit that strategy. But you can also keep tracking that IV and the IVP here, because 90 से और 70-60 तक अगर आ गया, if you see that volatility has cooled off, and you don't have to wait for this full 10,000 here guys. अभी इसमें भी अगर 40-50% भी आया, you can exit your position. Is that clear बानो जी? And there is one disclaimer कि हो सकता है कि बजट डे जो हमने रेंज देखा है वो 22,634 या 22,866 ब्रेक हो सकता है. यू कैन सी दो स्विंग्स. अब तक जो हमने ट्रेडिंग रेंज देखा है वो 678 इज द हाईएस्ट, द हाई टू लो का ये. अगर आप देखो, यू जस्ट उस टाइम में आपका शायद पीएनएल रेड में होगा, बट यू डोंट हैव टू पैनिक एंड देन प्रोबेबली डू ऑल दीज एडजस्टमेंट्स एंड गेट इनटू मोर कॉम्प्लेक्सिटीज हियर. Just hold on for a couple of days, because even if it breaks out of the range, अगर चलो मान लो 22,866 से 22,400 या 300 भी आ गया, you know for a fact that आपको loss होगा, but that loss will be limited to 4,950 और. So you don't have to worry कि मेरा अगर short triangle करोगे और ऐसा हो गया तो then वो panic situation में तो exit करना बनता ही है. That is where we have added iron condor here. ठीक है. And what will be the last thing is, what is the capital required? So probably you will have capital somewhere in the range of 1 lakh is what the capital will be. So 1 lakh के आसपास, 1 lakh to 1,10,000. Ideally it's better to have a slightly buffer amount in your account as well. So 1 lakh to 1,20,000 that is the capital. But again, if you see the risk to reward is good, 1:2. For almost like 5,000 currency, there is 10,000, but again, you don't have to wait for that whole 10,000 euro. 1.5 to 1. So ideally better to have around 1.2 lakhs. अभी तो पहले इसमें margins actually कम था condos में. It was somewhere around 60 to 70 if I'm not wrong. Right now with the lot sizes going up, the margin has gone up a lot. So this was the detailed calculation guys. I hope आपको ये आयन कॉन्डोर स्ट्रैटेजी क्या होता है, लाइक हाउ डू वी, व्हेन डू वी डिप्लॉय दिस आयन कॉन्डोर, कब डिप्लॉय करना चाहिए, दैट इज आल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. अगर लो वॉलेटाइल एनवायरनमेंट में डजंट मेक सेंस टू डिप्लॉय एन आयन कॉन्डोर, बिकॉज हो सकता है कि कुछ अगर इवेंट हो तो शायद वो वॉलेटिलिटी बढ़े. Iron condors, short straddle, short triangles are deployed when the volatility is already at the peak, and chances are that the volatility is going to cool off. Yeah, exactly. The brokers will have to do that because उस दिन volatility काफी ज़्यादा होता है. So the margin is always on the higher end there, सिद्धार्थ जी. ठीक है. The PCR was increasing, but still it is coming down. So, and also if you look at the India VIX today, Baroji, I think वो थोड़ा सा almost, I think India VIX was down around 6 to 7%. It was rising, तो थोड़ा cool off आज हुआ भी है. So maybe we'll have to wait for it one more day and see कि कल क्या होता है. But I think Iron Condor will be good on the budget day and probably 1 or 2 days more. Saturday, Sunday शायद DK हो सकता है. Monday second half is when you can look to I'll have a separate session on adjustments, Murthy ji. The one thing that you can do is ideally don't try to adjust this iron condor here. But let's say if it breaks the range, Murthy ji, यहाँ पे मान लो आपका जो lower end है अगर वो range break करता है and ऐसे एक पैनिकी situation अगर आ जाता है आपको and you think कि ये और नीचे जा सकता है, then you can probably exit from your iron condor and maybe go for a directional strategy, maybe like a bear call spread. don't go for a bear put spread. Maybe you can look for bear call spread. अगर if it breaks the higher end and you feel कि यहाँ से ऊपर जा सकता है, then you can go for a bull put spread as well, where you sell an at the money call and buy an out of the money call here, and similarly sell at the money put and buy out of the money put here. So these are the things, but see, don't get into those complex, because adjustments, again, see, adjustment करने के लिए आपको एक extra capital भी लगेगा, because you are adding a new position. So you know, these things do get complicated. Already ये strategies थोड़ा complicated ही है, उसको interesting बनाने में भी थोड़ा you know, tough है. But then again, we'll have a separate discussion on adjustments, guys, and I'll try to explain you in the manner in which I explained today. तो मेरा यही कोशिश रहेगा कि हम आगे जाके जितने भी अगर वेबिनार्स हो, whenever we are covering about option strategies, I'll try to ensure that you get the concepts right. कब क्या देखना चाहिए, कब डिप्लॉय करना चाहिए, कौन से एनवायरनमेंट में आपको क्या. सो दिस वाज द वॉलेटाइल एनवायरनमेंट में. न्यूट्रल एनवायरनमेंट में देयर आर डिफरेंट स्ट्रेटजीज, बुलिश एनवायरनमेंट में देयर आर डिफरेंट स्ट्रेटजीज, बेरिश एनवायरनमेंट में देयर आर डिफरेंट स्ट्रेटजीज. So I hope it was a good session, guys. Nikhil ji saying very nice, fundamentally explained. Thank you so much, Nikhil ji. Great session, sir. Thank you so much, Banu ji. If you have any, Ashish ji saying great session, sir. Superb. I hope Ashish ji अभी आपका वो call writing और put writing आपका शायद अभी clear हो गया होगा. Siddharth ji is also saying superb. Great, guys. So if you have any questions, so we just have a minute or so. अगर कुछ क्वेश्चन है तो आप पूछ सकते हो. Maybe you all can also tell me on what topics would you want the webinars on. Is there any particular topics that you have in your mind जो आप चाहते हैं कि मैं कवर करूं? You all can let me know in the chat box, guys. Thank you so much, अच्युता जी. अगर आपके मन में ऐसा कुछ टॉपिक है, अगर आपको ऐसा कोई टॉपिक लग रहा है कि थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट है and you want me to cover that, do let me know, guys. There are like future based hedging strategies as well, like protective calls and protective puts. Join late today, so no problem, Ashish ji. Even मेरे तरफ से भी आज there was some audio issue in my laptop, so मेरे तरफ से भी वो late हो गया था. We wanted to start at 4, but we started at 4:15. So there was a delay at my end as well. ठीक है. Thank you so much, guys. It was great hosting you all today. And hopefully I'll be seeing you all with a new set of topics very soon, guys. Bye, guys. Take care and stay safe.